what are the 4 challenges do you face in your job as a program manager?
Yeah, so as much as the ambiguity can be super exciting, sometimes it is a little stressful. Sometimes it is a little stressful to not know, what your next week of work is going to look like, or, what your next day is going to entail in terms of the problems you might be solving or skills you might be flexing. So I think having a pretty healthy tolerance for ambiguity is really important, and having patience for yourself and for the organization and for others can be really useful. I think sometimes another pitfall is, as a program manager, you're typically leading without direct authority, so you're leading through influence, and sometimes you feel the repercussions of that, where someone might be a little bit less willing to listen to you because you might not have direct authority. So I think, just being mindful of that up front and being very comfortable in that type of leadership space is important. I would say the third is, launching something and having user buy-in and user adoption is sometimes a little bit dependent upon trust, especially with internal programs. And trust is oftentimes created by communication, and sometimes even over communication. And so I think an obstacle or a downfall I see some program managers make from time to time is not communicating enough, or communicating enough but not communicating in the right channel or in the right tone or in the right method to really reach your audience. And then fourth, I would say, is it can be somewhat easy to burn out in this type of role where it feels like there's an endless to-do list. So sometimes there's an obstacle or a challenge, and program managers not taking the proper steps to practice self-care and practice setting up those healthy boundaries around work and life, and those healthy boundaries around pacing themselves, which can lead to burnout.
Thank you so much, Anis. So here comes my next question. What is the career path of a program manager?
Yeah, so I've seen it go in all sorts of different directions. I've seen folks who are program managers move into product management. I've seen them move into marketing. I've seen them move into sales. I've seen folks move into leadership roles. I've seen them move into more specific strategy and operations roles. I've also seen folks make a career out of program management, and they either tackle different business problems or they tackle similar business problems across different companies or across different industries. So, being a program manager makes you very versatile. I think you develop a very wide range of skills, and so there's a lot of different directions you can take your career in. And it just comes down to, like I said earlier, framing the work that you're doing within the context of the team that you're looking to join.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And here comes my last question, Anis. What 3 advices would you like to give aspiring candidates to be successful in program manager role?
Yeah, this is a great question. I would say first and foremost, don't be intimidated. I can promise you that most program managers probably feel like they're not really sure of what's going on most of the time. Part of the charm of program management is that, you maintain that cool, steady, calm demeanor and continue chipping away and continue chugging away. But, even folks who are very tenured run into ambiguous situations where they think to themselves, honestly, I don't know, or, oh my God, what is this? Or, have some concerns about how they might handle it. So first and foremost, don't be intimidated. If this is a career path that you're passionate about, that you're interested in, pursue it as ferociously as you might pursue anything else that you really want to make happen in your life. I would say a second piece of advice would be, have those coffee chats, talk to folks who are in program management roles, ask them what they do in their day-to-day, ask them what types of business problems they're solving, and just develop a really robust knowledge of the different ways in which program manager skills can be flexed across an organization. it can be so useful to hear someone talk about their day-to-day using the lingo and the jargon of program management within context of a business problem. And it also gives you some insight into the types of work streams that you might be doing, or the types of things you might be thinking about, to really see if it's a path forward for you that makes sense for your career. Lastly, I would say I cannot emphasize enough that piece around framing your experience within the context of the hiring team that you're interviewing with, or the team that you're looking to join. And this is true whether you're just submitting a resume and you want to have the strongest application. You're going to want to frame your experiences in the language of where you're looking to land. When you're interviewing, you want to frame your language of stories within the context of what that hiring team cares about. I think sometimes it can be very, very enticing to say, listen, I've accomplished a lot in my current role and I'd like to highlight that. And I would challenge the perception that it's diminishing your work, and instead say you're highlighting the pieces of that great impact you had that show to that next team the type of impact you could have on their team as well.